So, welcome to my energy update on everything that's just come to pass, which is the 11/11, which was on Saturday, and of course the new moon in Scorpio. So, like as if eclipse season wasn't delivering enough, now we get surged into the next stages of that big shift of consciousness, which is exactly what's going down right now. A huge shift in consciousness as we roll through 11/11 and the new moon in Scorpio. So, let me talk a little bit, rewinding back to the 11/11, which was on Saturday. Now, Saturday, I started my Heka Codes group, my 11/11 group with Sekhmet and Hathor. What a day! Like, powerful. I mean, really powerful. And, the day was very unique in comparison to any other years that we've had, because if you do the numerology on 11/11/2023, it does actually add up to 11. We've never had that before. This is why that particular portal day was so massive and powerful, and everything has its place. It's there to birth us into a new consciousness. It was almost like that, you have like waves that come, waves that come, waves that come, and then there's that wave that literally on the shore. It's like done. It blasts all the blocks out the way, and you have all of a sudden this sense of clarity and just like a little bit out of breath, but in a very, very refreshing way. But it has been a mixed bag of shadow and light. So not all of us are in the same position with this, but we are moving in the right direction, the same direction, which is forward. Okay. So that was the 11/11 on Saturday, a very, very powerful energy day. Many of us, sometimes we move through these portals and you speak to each other and it's not so great. There was lots of reports of loveliness on that day. And then, of course, we moved gently into the new moon, which, I mean, the strategy of spirit taking us through the lunar eclipse. Yeah, you get a real ass kicking on that. Let's get rid of anything you don't need. Thank you very much. And then they take us into the 11/11, which is like, okay, this is feeling a bit better. Take a short beat and a breath. Here's the new moon in Scorpio. Now, Scorpio in the new moon, little bit of a what I call spiritual bipolar, because Scorpio is all about the underworld, and it's all about, it's all about kind of going into the underworld, which is the shadow stuff. And of course, it's a new moon, so it should be like new moon wishes, yay, shadow, yay, shadow. And I was really apprehensive of moving into this new moon, but it brought some beautiful gifts. Now, my daughter is Scorpio. Some of you Scorpios out there probably didn't feel so great, but whatever. It's all in the name of purging, all in the name of ascension, so it's all good. But no, that new moon brought some very, very powerful energy of resetting. I should actually call this video the intention video, because that's what it brought us to. All of your old ideas, all of your the vision, what am I doing this for? You conscious creators out there, big bodies of work out there, and you've been like hankering after one idea for so long. All of a sudden you're questioning yourself. Even if you don't have bodies of work out there, just your mission in general, you're kind of like, is that even making me happy anymore? I don't know that I want to do that anymore. Actually, like, I've wanted this for so long that now I go back and revisit it. Is it actually what I want anymore? And that's exactly what happened with me before I even came into the new moon. I've been doing a lot of my own inner work, and everything is to do with the reset, the foundation, coming back to that base layer of you, the base layer of your temple. Like what do your feet stand upon? What do you stand for? Is the old plan still the new plan? Probably not. So that was what that new moon was bringing up, and because it was in Scorpio, there's quite a bit of shadow there that you needed to go and have a look at and deal with, because that shadow would be showing you, if you are holding on to an old idea or an old intention, then maybe the shadow is there is because you're too scared to step into the new one, which is way better than that. Way better than that. And it's like, it's all about self-worth, isn't it? Every single path leads to self-worth, because what's the reason why we don't step into our power fully? What's the reason why we don't go and do the next level of whatever we're doing? Is because what if we fail? What if? Self-worth thing. You know what I mean? So all roads lead to self-worth. So if you are now, that's what the new moon brought you, letting go of the old ideas. Now, if you're letting go of that and you're giving a sacred no to that, you're automatically giving a sacred yes to something else. So then you're going, no, I don't want that. And then you look here and you go, oh, but Jesus, this is really big and scary, because it means that's your greatness. This is what you really look like. So if the shadow comes up, it's probably to do with that distortion in the middle, letting go of the old, coming into this space to look at the revisit the new idea. What's the new idea? And then the shadow would come up as a result of that, because it's now time for you to expand and come up to that next level. Now, in my channels with Neckbet, and even Toth's got some channeled messages on here as well. He was speaking about that a while ago, that there was a big shift coming. I think he was talking at the beginning of eclipse season. So if you want to go back and listen to that meditation, they're only 5 minutes long. Go back and listen to that channeled message, because they're very encoded. And then, of course, we drifted into Neckbet, and she was also sharing information about how direction, wisdom on how the higher self is coming into land. So you are now, through all of the hard work you've done, which is extensive, it's a lot, all of the hard work you've done now allows the controlling you, because you're not so controlling anymore, to step aside and allow the higher self version of you to step in and kind of be at the driving seat, maybe making a few more decisions, than before. You know what I mean? Maybe being, just like the one that guides rather than the one that lags behind because you won't listen. You know what I mean? So there is a shift there. And that comes from trusting. So that shift can only land, that can only happen for you because you've done so much work. So now I want to talk a little bit about like the uncomfortability, because there's been a lot of energy to do with like feeling super uncomfortable. I went through eclipse season, blew my doors off, and then I came into 11/11, and that was kind of amazing. But like on the run, all in that mix, there was this uncomfortability. I would have good days and bad days. And I sat with Isis, actually, had a fat chat with Isis like you do. And she came through and she was like, you are resisting you. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? And she was like, this huge shift of consciousness is upon you. Do you believe this? Yes, I do. Do you believe that, the higher self is coming into the fullness now? Yes, I do. So you believe that this is it now? Absolutely. And she's like, so what's the last component to get in alignment with that then? You. And what was happening is I was like, we're all expanding at a rate of knots because this is the timeline it happens. So there's loads of craziness going on and like loads of negative thoughts and that, because purging, clearing it very, very quickly. But what happens is as we go through these massive expansions, all of a sudden it's like, it's the want and need to contract, because you're like, whoa, this is a bit much. Do you know what I mean? It's like doing hill sprints in the warm up of a training session. It's like, whoa, hang on a minute. This is a bit fast and a bit furious, and a bit out there. The energy is quite high. And that's what happens. We do these massive expansions as ebb and flow, but sometimes we can contract because it can make us a little bit fearful. But this sits in the subconscious. Now, a lot of this stuff, if you're feeling resistance or if you're trying to move forward with something and you're still not in that happy place and it's still feeling a little bit arduous, where we're at right now is really in the subconscious phase, which is very much to do with the Scorpio new moon still, because that is deeply in the subconscious. The underworld is the subconscious. It's the halls of Amenti. It's all of the above. It's deep down in there. So you may not be aware on the surface of actually where these programs are coming from, or in fact that you are actually resisting. I didn't know that I was resisting my expansion because Isis said there's a brand new frequency, a brand new channel that wants to move through you. And I was just like, so let it happen. And she was like, well, let it happen. Like, back at you, And it was just like, oh, hang on a minute. I need to check myself a little bit. And there was, there was just like, I think, look, this is just my take on it. I feel that it is more like a muscle memory. We've been so used to keeping everything contained and in. It's a muscle memory that we've done it for so long that we forget that we are doing that. Do you know what I mean? So I think now if there's any advice that I can give to you is to spend time just in your meditations, just use breath work, just open, just allow to come out of your thoughts, come into the physical body. Breath work is fabulous, or yoga or whatever it is you need to do. Go and walk the dogs in the woods, whatever. Just focus now on opening, because you've done all the hard work up until now. Now it's about you receiving, okay? And therein always lies the problem, because when you ask, it is given immediately. What you want, you already have, okay? So now it's a case of aligning, calibrating to what you've called in. Are you the same vibration as that? Is it a vibrational match? Not usually, because you've got shadow going on. So it's just about like opening to receive. So I say this in so many of my videos. If your goods inwards entrance is not open, you're not going to receive the parcels. They'll just stack up at the door. You'll be on the other side of the doors going, well, nothing got delivered to me and I'm just in my victim consciousness. When everything did get delivered to you. So we need the lock and key to open up those doors to receive, right? So this is where we're at. So now it's about just opening your energy field. You're safe to do so now. Really expand and just allow yourself to open to this next level. And this isn't just what we've had before. This is really, really next level. Like way more next level. This is the new earth, baby. This is what we're landing into. You know what I mean? This is the golden age. This is the age of Aquarius. I'm an Aquarian, by the way. It's my time. So very excited for it all. But what I'm saying is all that you have dreamed of and desired, it's landed. So now you just have to receive it. So just looking at my list and seeing if there's anything else I need to speak about. I mean, really, it's just about letting that shit go, man. That's it. I think just let that shit go. Let go or be dragged, because you're going that way anyway. So I think like these, okay, so these are my practical points of how to work with this big shift in consciousness right now in the moment, right? So take your journal. Okay, go and have a little bit of journal time. Revisit the ideas and the intentions that you had before. Are they serving you? Is it what it still looks like for you? Because remember, when you go back and revisit things, you're like, God, do I even want this anymore? That's what happened with me. I looked at the way I'm holding my tours to Egypt. I looked at the way that I'm holding my groups. And look at the way that I'm sharing on platforms. I was like, does that serve me to do it in that way anymore? Probably not. I could do a lot better for myself if I did X, Y, and Z. But because we've never revisited that place, you don't actually think that there's anything wrong with it. So I urge you to go back, still in this new moon energy. Go back with your pen, revisit what you've said that you wanted, change it. Change it, because everything is on a reset right now. And what you were doing before is done. It's done. So allow the new version of that to come out. And the only way to really get your thoughts into things is basically thoughts into things. Get it in there, and then go from there. So that, and then also as well, breath work, getting in the body, yoga, stop doing. There's no more hard work to do. Just open the space so this stuff can land. That is your only job at the moment. That's it. And that's all. You have any funky stuff coming up, which is basically shadow and it's just looking a bit not so great, to you, or feeling so great, then understand and know that that's your higher self putting that shadow in the place to kind of like tell you and show you which way to go. So if the shadow comes up, don't dive into the story. Just understand that the shadow is coming up to say that isn't a way for you anymore, because it doesn't feel nice. Rather turn around, listen, and go the other way. Because there's something very, very cool I heard the other day. Like closing your eyes, wearing a blindfold. What does that do? It will take away your vision, your physical eyes, your senses. So now you have to feel your way forward on the path. You have to feel your way around, and then you have to listen. So that would be a great analogy that I could bring forth now. Whereas like seeing is going to say, well, that's not been done. That's not been done, because the mind is obviously controlling what you see, and the mind's a bit crazy right now. Forget about all that. Disengage from that. Come into the body. Close the eyes off. Sit in stillness ever such a lot, and really rely on what you are hearing, because your guides will be speaking to you. Your higher self will be speaking to you, more importantly, and feel your way into where it feels good. Because remember, the feeling is what aligns you with the harmony, vibration of flow, joy, happiness, success. Success is actually joy. And that is what we're trying to do here. We're not trying to do. Sorry. This is what we're trying to become. See what I did there? So I hope that those tips help. Try them. Simplistic, to the point. Less about doing, more about receiving, and just opening up the space wide enough to receive all the magical gifts that you have called in. So as always, lots of love for you on your journey. As always, sharings of the bliss codes, because that is essentially what this is all about. Finding you're happy. And one thing I have learned as a very weary starseed over the years, but I'm not so weary anymore, is the ingredient that was missing in my life was joy. Not producing because I might die, okay? Creating through inspired action, through joy. That is the true essence of why we're here. So speaking about joy, okay, Tablets of Light Tour 2024. We are going to be heckering in the temple. So we're going to be bringing through these intentions, brand new intentions, moving them through the alchemical process into these intentions coming into something physical and amazing in your life. We work with the medicine of the temples. We activate your ancient memory on how to do this. We activate your ancient visions, bring them into the forefront and recreate them in this modern day world and successfully. Joyfully. So if you feel called for the Tablets of Light tour, I mean, that is a process you're going to walk through. You go in one way and you come out completely different. So there is that. And obviously I will be posting probably for next year, January, the next Hacker Codes group, which are, like I say, there is a group underway, but these groups are very, very potent and powerful. So there'll be most definitely one coming up in January for those that kind of like want to wet their whistle a little bit and move into the new year, 2024. In the abundance codes, because Hecker is now landing, ladies and gentlemen, and it's right in the temples in Egypt. So see you there. Peace.